Linda Robson, folks. You might know Linda. She does a bit on Loose Women. Used to star with old Pauline Quirke, mate since childhood in Birds of a Feather. And done other bits and pieces with her over the years. You might have heard the other week that old Pauline there has got the old dementia. Really, really sad. She's known now for about 4 years and I think she's getting progressively worse. Yes, it came out from her husband's mouth a few weeks ago now. And at the time, the old Loose Women, couldn't help themselves but asked Linda the day Linda was on, what about Pauline? What about your old friend Pauline with the dementia? And said, look, I'm going to say something very quickly and then I'm going to say nothing else. Nothing else after this because it upsets me and it's her life and it's their business. It's their business. I'm going to say nothing else after this one statement. And she did the old statement, said what she had to say, and she's getting all tearful. And they're doing as they do on there. The women are getting out the chairs, putting their arms around and all that. And I'm like that, sort of throwing up. And then it ends. Anyway, I reported on that at the time, and then I reported about 2 weeks later. Because about 2 weeks later, somebody else has put a microphone under old Linda's gob there, and she's had more to say. And I thought, that's good, isn't it? After this statement, I'm going to say nothing else. I'm not going to say anything else ever again. 2 weeks later, she's talking. Well, lo and behold, 2 or 3 more weeks later, as in today, I opens my paper there. Linda Robson says she knew her best friend Pauline was bad 4 or 5 years ago. She just knew it. When Pauline wasn't returning her calls, she knew there was something wrong. At the time of memory serve, she was telling everybody they'd fallen out. We don't talk anymore. We're never going to act again. We've fallen out. She took that ground along the lines of Pauline wasn't coming back to her. Turns out Pauline wasn't coming back to her because she was suffering and she was ill. No doubt old Linda's felt a bit bad there with some of the statements she put out at the time. But anyway, she's saying, so I knew Pauline was bad at the time. She's really bad now. She doesn't really recognise anybody, sometimes not even her family. She said, the thing is, we went out a couple of years ago, the 3 of us from Birds of a Feather. We all went out for a meal, she said, and we both noticed at the time before it became official. We didn't know at the time. We noticed something was amiss with Pauline. We knew she wasn't well, but we didn't want to broach it, and we didn't know quite what it was, but we thought she was very vacant and there was something wrong. She said, anyway, just after that dinner date, she said her husband told us what it was, so we were put in the picture. But I always decided never to say because it was their business. And I've never spoken about it till her husband came out the other week and said she'd got the old dementia. But as I say, what I'm looking at is, she says on Loose Women, that's it, I'm never going to say anything again. 2 weeks later, she finds a bit more to say. 2 or 3 more weeks later, which is now, she finds a bit more to say. If that's her idea of saying nothing, well, she wants to get herself sorted out. Because no doubt every time she opens her mouth and does say something, there's a cheque winging its way to her in the post, I'm pretty sure. None of these celebs do anything for nothing. So anything they put in a newspaper, on the TV or wherever else, they get a bit of candy for, I'm pretty sure. I thought to myself, no, I'm not so sure that's the kind of mate I want. The kind of person that says, I'm never going to say anything. And then all of a sudden, they're breaking rank at every opportunity. Next time she talks about it again, I'll tell you, don't worry about that. I'll tell you all about it. No, she wouldn't be a mate of mine.